And I'd like to ask Lisa and T.O. here. This is a very emotional day in the lives of African Americans. When I'm watching you two, and you two are extremely emotional because this touches you to your heart.
It has to, because I'm a black woman. It has to because I have black family. It has to because they're black millennials. It has to because I have to stand and use my platform because there were people before me that did that. And so as we look around and we try to figure out who is our voice, how are we going to be heard? Yes, we're angry. Yes, we have sorrow. Yes, we have pain. But the biggest thing is we're tired. We're tired. No more. We are fed up. We have to do this. The time is now. We cannot lose the momentum. The momentum is here and strong and now. And we're all out here collectively standing together because we're saying unity. We're saying change. We're saying humanity. That's what this is about. Change.
That's right. That's right.
And of course, T.O., with you, it's all that and even more because a lot of people are saying you were Colin Kaepernick before Colin Kaepernick.
Yep. I share this platform with everybody else. I'm like Lisa. I'm black. I have a black family. I don't want to be like this young lady where it hits my front door. It's so obvious of the systemic racism and oppression that we've gone through to now, all of a sudden, black people are hanging themselves. We don't do that.
And we don't do that.
We don't do that.
Where have you ever heard of that? Now all of a sudden, in 2020, in a matter of weeks, you have about 5 people, black people that hung themselves.
6 now.
It's 6 now. We're not having that.
It's 6 now.
This is why we're here. Like you said, Colin did this 4 years ago, and it fell on deaf ears.
Yes.
There are no more deaf ears now.
Can be.
Every ear across the country, globally, have heard. And this is it. This is the last straw.
That's right, T.O.
We're going to fight, and we're going to keep fighting.
Yep.
That's right.
And I'm here, and I'm going to do whatever I can. Like Lisa said, right now, this is the most important and pivotal time in history. It's a saying, you got to strike while the iron is hot.
That's right.
If that iron ain't hot right now, I don't know what is.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That iron is hot.
Yes.
Pastor James, talk to us a little bit about what's going on today and what your goals are.
Basically, what our goals are, we have an inaugural organization that we've kind of started, an association of clergy, that we've decided that we need to support Black Lives Matter in real time. You know, a couple of us have already been Black Lives Matter members, and so we want to say to other clergy that, you know, you can come in and join us, but we are unapologetically supporting the political and social agenda of Black Lives Matter. We believe in it. It makes sense, and so we're here, and we know that, you know, our brother T.O. and our sister Lisa Raye, that they kind of jump-started something that personally impacted me. As I was down with the ministers about a week or so ago, and the police officers were bowing, and I'm just bittersweet about that because when the brother bowed, he was demonized, his livelihood was stolen from him, and that's just not okay. I don't need police bowing. I don't need anything that's symbolic. I need for them to understand that our goal is to defund police and to prosecute killer cops. You cannot think that you're going to get away with killing our people. And we don't speak out against it, and we don't do something about it. We are beyond the point of reform. We don't want to hear a discussion about reform. We had a stellar commission not long ago dealing with reform in 1992, and we're now the #1, we're the capital of police killing in the country. And so, like our ancestors, they did not seek to reform slavery. They abolished it, and so that's we're tracking them. That's what we're about, and we want to invite everybody to come along with us, whoever will. But if we got to do it alone, just like Harriet Tubman had to threaten her people into freedom, and so we're not, you know, that's not. We're not trying to threaten anybody, but we're not going to let anybody dissuade us from seeking justice for our people. It's been far too long.
That's right. And when we say
defund the police. We're saying defund, we're saying divest, we're saying invest into the structures. The reason why you ain't got that much crime in Bel Air or in Irvine is because they have the resources they need, right? So when we keep taking 50% of our resources, 54% of our resources and giving it to law enforcement, that's not going to work anymore, right? We don't need the Gestapo tactics in our community. We need real change. So we didn't need to dismantle this system, and we need to rebuild it. And I want to be clear, this came from black women on the streets, from Black Lives Matter. These are, the women are the ones who feel the pain, right? For the past 3 weeks, I couldn't sleep. I just kept seeing Breonna, I kept seeing Trayvon, I kept seeing all of the ones that have been taken. Waukesha Wilson right here in Los Angeles, where she was murdered in a jail. 21 minutes is missing out of the video. They said she committed suicide and hung herself. No, we ain't buying that, right? And all our folks are hanging on trees, and they're telling us, well, they committed suicide, right? No, we're not having that. We're saying this system has been looting lives forever.
Yes.
This system has been looting our lives forever, and we're saying no, dismantle it, and we can reimagine as a community. We can reimagine safety for ourselves.
That's right. We have the ability with fathers programs, daughters programs, we have the ability to inculcate into our people the type of programs that we don't need police. We can handle our business ourselves like we did going all the way back to our African past. We have the ability. We want to take charge. Give us the money and see what the community carers will do with it.
And let me just emphasize one more time. We're not asking for government programs.
That's right.
We're asking for the R word, reparations. If you want to make this right, and we have a message for our non-black allies, we appreciate what you're doing, but you got to follow our message.
Yes.
You got to listen to us. We may never get this opportunity again. And so we're at a pivotal place. We need a, we got, you know, we're going to let this young lady say something. This is her brother.
Seize the moment.
Seize the moment. Come on. Say what you got to say.
My name is Antoinette Sadler. I'm the sister of Angel Ramos, who was killed in Vallejo by Vallejo police in the Bay Area, January 23rd, 2017. And so we stressed all the time, like prior to my brother being killed, I was an organizer out here in LA, in the Bay, doing work with BLM LA, focusing and centering my organizing work around families that have been, you know, victims of police brutality and who have lost their loved ones to police. And I used to always like reiterate how it could always be you, could always be somebody you know. And lo and behold, it hit my front porch, and my own brother was taken by Vallejo police. And so to see like the movements and that's going on, like just statewide, not even just statewide, nationwide, and really globally, for the push for the abolition of, and then when we talk about, you know, like we ain't talking about reform, it really is the abolishment of police, the abolishment of prison systems, the abolishment of every systematic oppression entity that has kept us as black people like on the lower and the lower and the lower bottoms. And I think even when I look at my brother's case, my brother is Latinx, but when he was killed, the police officer in his interview identified my brother as a black man with a white shirt and blue jeans, which is your typical stereotype description of what, you know, what they used to justify. My brother, the only thing he had on was boxes and a rosary. And so even then, when I look at like what my brother looks like, even then in the image and in that moment, he was still killed as a black man. It was still, his killing was still justified for him being a black man, and even though he wasn't a black man. And it's crazy because 2 months before that, he asked me a question. He was like, you know, you out here, you doing this work for Black Lives Matter. What would you do if something would happen to me? Like, don't my life matter? And so it brought me to this same, like, excuse my language, but bullshit ass argument about this all lives matter. And I had to explain to him, black people have been oppressed on the lower bottom of everything before anybody. So until we as black people are free, nobody else gonna be free. Until we get the things that we need for us as a people, nobody else can get it. We at the front lines of every single movement, even for non-black folks. We at the front line of that movement. And at the end of the day, we facing all the negative consequences and the negative repercussions for all of it. So yeah.
We have to understand the pendulum is going to swing one way or the other. Things are not going to stay the same, which means that we're going to, you know, either progress towards total equality, or we're going to digress towards slavery. And we're saying that we're here to, and I'm just talking about the two options that's out there. Like T.O. said, people are being hung, you know, throughout the neighborhood. I say the Palmdale area, the young man who was hanged out there 5 minutes away from my home. And I'm a minister out in the AV, the Antelope Valley area. And what we're saying is that we're not going to wait for nobody to bring change to us. We're going to stand up and we're going to demand the change, and that's why I'm so thankful for BLM and all the work they have put in, and they have opened our eyes. And so we're calling on ministers everywhere to stop hiding behind pulpits, to stop, you know, hiding within the four walls, and to take a stand. If anybody should be a part of this, it should be the spiritual leaders, should be aligning ourselves with equality.
That's right.
We have always been, you know, for standing for social justice.
That's right.
So not to stand up as a minister is not to really believe in what you preach. And so I'm out here because I'm saying that it's time to pop. And what I mean is that it's time to protect our people, period. We're not looking for nobody to protect us anymore. I'm calling on all black men to take a stand and have a united front and to protect our people, period. Our women are going to protect our people, period. We're calling on people, entertainers, to protect our people, period. Because we have to know that if we don't, who's going to protect our people?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Also, we got to stop asking for justice. We got to start taking these. We got to start taking these officers. I'm gonna call them officers to civil court, just like they took OJ to civil court after he won in the criminal court. Ron Goldman took him to civil court.
That's right.
We got to start taking these cops to civil court and breaking them and let them go ahead and be destitute like we've been destitute our entire lives, and let them understand how we feel. We don't. All we have to do is get the permission from their parents, and we got to start taking these cops. I'm talking about all the way from Eric Garner all the way to Philando Castillo, to everybody. We got to start taking these people to civil court.
And take those pensions.
And once we win in civil court, we don't have to worry about anything else. Karma is going to take care of the rest.